But now that they've added Death Lord, it's usually for this kind of matchup, it's so much better for them.
Yeah, we're going to find out if it's better for RDU this game or not, because game number 2 is getting underway. ErA is out to a 1-0 lead. Looking good in game number 1, had the perfect deck versus RDU.
And this is what we thought was going to happen. I expected to see this deck from ErA here tonight.
Now, the thing that I'm curious about is how effective this deck is versus Druid. You know, we've seen it play a lot of grindy games, but Druid is not a deck like any other. You know, you get to the late game with Druid, you have powerhouse threats at almost every step of the way.
Yeah. Traditionally, Druid is favored in these kind of matchups. You know, Druid versus, say, a control mage deck. And usually not with this kind of hand, though, from RDU. But ErA has said that this one is not as bad as you think. And if anyone's going to, you know, pilot their deck correctly in this matchup, it's going to be ErA. I mean, he made this deck.
You know what? I know why RDU lost game 1.
Did he have his glasses on?
Yeah. Just that's got to be one of the sources of his strength. You know, you look at this hand, you go, "There's no wild growth." You know how the glasses didn't help at all here. No, I promise you, the glasses are going to win RDU this game.
Yeah, just drew Innervate. I mean, he's going to draw another one.
He just draws like 8 Innervates in a row, then just draws Ancients of Lore afterwards. Like, how did he do it?
Big Game Hunter, not amazing in this matchup.
What are you talking about, Tannen? He's going to uproot that Ancient of Lore.
Oh, we've seen it once this season. I want to see it again.
I uprooted the other day, and I immediately regretted afterwards.
Yeah, most people usually do.
I was like, I think I'm going to uproot. And then as soon as I played it, he like just dragged a card out of his hand. I was like, it's Big Game Hunter.
Yeah. Now, do you think there's ever a world where you explosive sheep coin shoot the sheep there? And I got to believe his play is correct. I mean, it's ErA. He knows his deck very, very well. And he's probably just looking to get more value out of his sweepers later in the game.
That's really what I'm thinking about, too. But the other thing, too, is that Explosive Sheep isn't necessarily too good in this matchup. Like, how much do you actually get done? And so I think this is the kind of turn he was looking for, was RDU to take out the Acolyte in fear of ErA getting so much card advantage and then having this turn.
Yeah, because like now he just doesn't use the coin. He gets to trade his Acolyte for a card and the coin, which might be better than just using the coin there and then doing something on turn 4, which, if you look at his hand, he actually doesn't have a lot to do on turn 4. I like the way ErA sequenced this.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But in the meantime, RDU going to get more threats on board and start swinging away. And he's already got combo in hand. You know, he doesn't need too much more damage for this to actually just realistically be a win in a few turns.
Yep. Now, ErA, he has a lot of defensive measures this deck. There's Sludge Belchers, the main way that it's going to win. It's got Sylvanas and Ragnaros. You're going to look for him to try to duplicate one of his big threats like Sludge Belcher, Sylvanas, or Ragnaros, to where he actually has ways to win. He's going to be very careful with that card.
Yep. So RDU going to cycle this Wrath. Yeah, I like cycling on the Ooze. Ooze is pretty much a useless body at the moment. I think he would actually even prefer for ErA to invest hero powers into that. And just going to Wild Growth right now. Why not? He's one step closer to getting that big turn.
You know, there's maybe something to be said about thinking about holding on to the Wild Growth there, because you're going to get to most likely play all these turns, and if you get to the late game, cycling it for a card might be pretty good, but...
No, he's got his sights set on ending this match.
Polymorph, rather than later. Great card in this matchup. Takes care of Piloted Shredder, takes care of any of the gigantic minions like, you know, 5/10 Ancient of Wars, and takes care of them very easily.
Now, you say that, but at the same time, he did just take 4 damage and invest a card, and this is a turn where RDU can actually just pop this Ice Block.
Yeah, if he wants to, he can Innervate into the Force of Nature Savage Roar, and yeah, actually get through lethal damage on ErA, and ErA have to play really careful for the rest of the game.
He's got 20 right now, so he would set him to 2 life.
I was going to say, does he have a way to get him to 1 in his attacks?
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. Yeah, he does actually.
Yeah.
He just attacks with all the minions first. That's 12 damage plus 6. That's 18, and then himself.
If you could attack to actually get ErA to 1 and then pop the block, then I like it. If you get him to 2, not as much. You want your hero power to be threatening lethal every turn.
The other thing you want to do is have these boombots threaten lethal every single turn after that. So RDU, I mean, this is exactly the turn that he was looking for, and this is one of the problems with this mage deck, is that when it's facing off against Druid like this, there's a big risk of combo damage. This is the turns where Druid can punish almost any deck that's out there.
And now ErA does have another Ice Block in his hand already, and can take care of this board relatively easy. So all he's going to do is fade, you know, his Ice Block getting popped again for another turn, and maybe find a way to heal.
Which is, frankly, that's really the big one, is he's got to find a way to heal, and I don't know if that's happening with his hand. You know, he's got to worry about swipe. He's got to worry about boombots. He's got to worry about more Force Natures. Almost everything in RDU's deck kills him at this point. Now, he knows the Ice Block's getting popped no matter what, so why invest into the board position? You just play Ice Block, keep digging for the Antique Heal Bot, hope that you can find a way out of this.
Yeah, Antique Heal Bot, Sludge Belcher. He needs to find either some way to taunt up or heal. A heal would be much better, though.
Yep. So RDU can pop this Ice Block, and then it's a very easy turn after this.
Yeah, Druid of the Claw is going to be amazing here, too. Anything with charge. It's going to be great here because Frost Nova, ErA might lean on that and have to take a risk here.
Yeah, Dr. Boom is, every single turn, every single time one of those boom bots is going to die, it's going to be one more threat of lethal. This is a nightmare situation for ErA. Frankly, I don't know if there's any outs. I mean, because say he even draws anti-Keel Bot here. You can big game hunter the 7/7 anti-Keel Bot. Still have to be worried about more Force Natures, more Savage Roars, charge damage.
You would have to anti-Keel Bot plus Frost Nova. And yeah, he's just going to sit here and use Frostbolt and Frost Nova to try to buy himself a turn, but this Druid of the Claw is going to end the game.
Yep. So there it is. ErA has no way to pad his life total, and just one extra point of damage from Rdu is going to end it, but he's got 4. He's even got Keeper of the Grove if he wants. Yep, right side it every single time. Try to tilt him.
Yep, I like this. So play the card on the right side of your hand, try to get him a little bit.
So Rdu going to quickly tie up game number 2. And again, this is really a matter of the matchups here. Rdu, I don't really look at him and see a big Druid player.